Mike the Hobbit here.
Lowdown Brown.
Inviting you to check out Geeks Under the Influence, a podcast that pairs booze with conversation with good friends.
And a little nerd culture.
We get a lot of colorful conversation out of our episodes, but it is here for everyone. No gatekeeping.
Always level up everything we do.
We'll punch up, never punch down.
Exactly.
So check out Geeks Under the Influence anywhere you get your podcasts and join us or die.
Shut the fuck up, Hobbit. Welcome to GUI Nights.
GUI Nights.
Yeah, I am Lowdown Brown. With me as always,
Mike the Hobbit.
this is the tangential side of GUI.
This is like so many of those other shows that has the after the show bit mixed with a little bit of Baywatch Nights, so it's a little sexier. It's a little bit after hours.
Also while tying it into the previous episode of GUI. So look forward to that too, because this comes out the week after the flagship hour-long episode.
So make sure to check out GUI Nights, and when you're done, you can
Go the fuck home.
The views and opinions expressed on Beautiful Disasters are those of the panelists and not those of the Geeks Under the Influence Network, their sponsors, or anyone else involved. Also, there is going to be a lot of adult language used on this podcast, so please keep your little kitties away unless you don't care about them that much.
Welcome back to Beautiful Disasters. I don't know what to say to introduce this episode.
I would start with your name. That's a good start.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, well, I was just going off that silly notion of a few lines of cold open before, I don't know.
It's true that this watching the film that we just saw makes me feel like Johnny the tackling Alzheimer's patient from Scrubs, just screaming, "Who am I?" as I hurl my body into space or at people.
Yeah. I mean, my brains were churned like butter.
I liked it.
know?
It was good.
So, but no, we do have a full episode. And also, this podcast, by the way, is called Beautiful Disasters.
I think you did say that.
Did I say that? No, I said, welcome back. I did.
You.
What do we do on this podcast?
I think we talk about movies and get confused about where we are in life.
That we do. But we have a good time.
We do, and that's
And
the
it's
most
great.
important bit.
And yes, we are going to introduce this panel and this movie in short order. I am the Grutz.
That's right, and I'm Murphy Lawless. And our guest joining us today is...
I go by Alan T today.
Alan T.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
First time having you on the podcast, right?
Yes. On this one, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you had you were part of the Weird Al episode for the Geeks Under the Influence flagship show, right?
Yeah, with GUI and the network with Hobbit. So Mike over there.
Yeah.
Hi, Mike, if you're listening.
Oh, yeah. He's the guy who suggested that whole cold open weird thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't work here.
And, my name being Al, he was like, oh, he's pretty weird. I guess we could throw him in. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, sure.
Well,
My logic.
I know you just enough to know that you are a quality motherfucker. So we have good times watching silly ass flicks and good times outside of that.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
you, all right.
Yeah.
In fact, we all spent some time at the local horror convention
Yeah, this
nearby
past
to
Sunday.
Richmond in Williamsburg, Virginia. Shout out to Scares the Care.
Yes.
Badass
right.
time. Thank you for being there with me.
That's right. It was a fantastic time. I'm really glad that we all got to run around together, both in and out of costume, meet some cool folks, spend too much money, and
Oh, yeah, definitely.
donate to a good cause.
The limping of the bank account, but all for a good cause. Joe does a good thing out with Scares of Care. Check it out.
It's a good con. It's one of the smaller horror cons in the East Coast circuit, but I dig it not just because it's local, but because it's fucking fantastic, and it's you don't get the big, huge, giant names, but
we got some
you get
big
quality
names.
times, and the reason I love it is that it's the closest thing to what I remember a horror convention being as it was 10 years ago.
Oh, fair enough.
10, 12 years ago when I started going, when it was much more laid back, it was much more affordable, but also it was chill. Like you could still talk to somebody at their table for a minute or two, get a picture with them, like have a little interaction as opposed to what some of the bigger cons have been.
It's not quite a cattle call, which I like.
No, exactly.
It's not get in, take a picture, all right, move next. Yeah, it's not that. Especially when a celebrity's hot or something's researched. Yeah. It's very intimate and it's wonderful, and you get to enjoy yourself.
Indeed. So I do digress, but I do want to preface the introduction of this movie with the fact that I saw this trailer some time ago, a year or two ago, whatever it was, and was mystified by it. Did not realize that it had already been released until just a few months ago.
Yeah, you and I saw it in Barnes & Noble. It was an Arrow release. I read the back of the Blu-ray cover and bought it sight unseen based off of the description.
Yes, because my internet wasn't working. I couldn't even show you the trailer in the store.
Look, no, the description on the back of this box was enough. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. I've bought dumber things for more.
No, and what you're talking about is that description is enough to sell that movie as an episode idea for this podcast.
Both an episode idea for this podcast and something that I know for a fact that even before I watched it, I was going to go, dude, you got to see this film. Check this shit out.
And I've bought some of those in the past, and then I actually watch them and I'm like, oh, well, okay. It was all right. This delivered.
Oh, yeah, it did. Holy shit.
It delivered.
Hand over foot, over mouth, over ass, over tea kettle, it delivered.
So today, we are talking about a 2019 movie, nice and current.
Yeah.
Jesus Shows You the Way to the Highway.
That's right, from director Miguel Alonso. This was, I think, one of a handful of films that he's done. I think the only other one that he's super known for was a film called Crumbs, which popped up when I was looking up our lead actor, Daniel Tedeschi.
Nice. And I'm going to rely on you more because you wrote more notes about all that, because you do the research. Come on.
There wasn't a ton of research to do about this because I've been looking it up and I tried to avoid stuff that would have a ton of story to it because I really wanted to go into this film blind as much as possible, just because it seemed like the kind of thing that you needed to allow for those twists and turns, and you watch the film and then you have to unpack it later, and there's not time in this world for us to unpack this film, but we're going to try to at least spin you a few yarns of storyline and plot. But just to give you an idea of some of the cultural stuff at play, Miguel Alonso was born in Madrid in Spain and now lives and makes films in Ethiopia. So there's a large diversity of culture that's going into this, and as well as most of his actors being Ethiopian based, which is super cool. It's not as common as you'd like it to be.
No, and you almost wouldn't even realize some of those factors watching this movie because the plot takes place in the late 80s. No,
this is the year 2043 is when this film is supposed to take place.
I didn't say the film, I said the plot.
The plot?
Takes place during the Cold War.
Yes.
The plot doesn't take place. No, the film is set during the year 2043.
But they mentioned the Soviet Union.
Yeah, they mentioned the Soviet Union as a virus for the computer, but then they're also using MacBook Classics, and it was made in 2019, so no one knows what the fuck is going on, my dudes.
Just saying. It's a little bananas.
It's the Apple. It's the hardware that they had in there, and just the opening feature of the first.
It's true. Oh, scene, and yeah, before we really get into everything, we're going to do our best to describe this movie, and we're going to fail.
5-point harnesses for everyone.
Because this movie is fucking bananas.
This is another one that's kind of on par with Everything Everywhere All at Once within trying to unravel. It's not as many parallel universe things, but there is just a lot of stuff happening, and there's a lot of Russian nesting dolls, if you will, of plot.
Yes.
It's like Eon Flux tripped on a dot matrix printer and just kept going.
Yes.
So, do you want to jump in, get started? How do you want to lead off?
Yeah, sure. So we are introduced to a CIA
Agent? Yeah. Special agent.
A situation where there is a virtual reality circumstance with CIA agents where they are going into a virtual reality like a la the Matrix.
Well, it's called Psycho Book.
It is called Psycho Book, correct.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie opens with one of their agents bleeding from the eyes and basically almost dying.
I think they did die. So there was a brief scene of them like coughing after
Gurgling,
a few
yeah.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah,
where they were
Agent
like,
Tracy.
Get them to the hospital.
Fuck Agent Tracy. Agent Tracy was also a child.
Yeah.
Were they?
The eyes got microwaved somehow, and
I mean,
yeah.
whatever actor was there was like 11 years old. But like, what the fuck do I know?
I was really focused on the gouged out eyes.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's a dead
They
body.
were small of stature, but yeah, they could have been very well been a child or a teenager.
So we almost immediately, they're like, oh shit, well, this is fucked up. Like, we didn't know people could die in there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get our next couple agents in there. So we get Agent... Oh, fuck, you know the
Agent
names.
Gagano and Agent Palmer.
There you go.
Were our
Lead.
special agent team that we first see go back into Psycho Book to eliminate part of the Soviet Union virus that they have found. They are trying to get at the heart of the matter, but they have found one of the agents, and so they go in undercover as Top Gun Pest Control.
With face masks in the virtual reality.
Yeah.
And the little dude,
Well,
Gagano, he's Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so I think we should clarify when we say little dude. Daniel Day-Lewis is a dwarf in this film. I don't know if that's his stature usually or if this is just one of the crazy film logic, but, you know, just so you know, we're not making this up. Just trust.
I just kept writing down, because he gets called Little Fly later.
He does get called
that'll
Little
come into
Fly.
play.
I
So
don't
we'll
know if we should just bust out the man's pet name right off the bat.
I think we should.
Let's just call him Little Fly so nobody slips with something.
His name is Gagano. How do you slip with Gagano?
Anyway, the other dude,
Endearment that
his partner, douchebag or whatever his fucking name is.
Palmer. Yeah, we don't know he's a douchebag
Palmer,
yet.
yeah.
He's a little dickish, but
But, you know,
He's
he's like a regular sized person, you know, like, so he's, you know. Anyway, they go in, Gagano is wearing,
Sort of like a Ricky Nelson-esque.
no, Richard Pryor. He's got Richard Pryor's face.
Gagano
yeah,
is- I
Gagano
think
has
it's
Richard
Palmer.
Pryor.
Palmer's wearing fucking
sort of-
Robert Redford.
I thought that looked familiar.
Young Robert
Okay.
Redford. Yeah,
Like
like
Ricky Nelson,
Butch
yeah.
Cassidy era, like
Yeah.
youngish.
But the
You know.
masks articulate, too. That was the other thing.
The mouths
Wow.
drop down like South Park characters.
Yes.
So, yeah, we got to break for a second before we get in with more plot on what I feel is like probably one of the most brilliant live action animation techniques. Like, we've all seen
Yes.
rotoscoping before.
Yep.
So this was them in costumes with these like paper masks that, as you said, they were animating the mouth actions, but they were adjusting the film in the editing process to make it look like stop motion animation, which basically they were just chopping out a bunch of frames, you know, at different points to make it look like a choppy like stop motion.
Yeah, it was great. It was a really
And it
wonderful
really
effect.
fucking worked.
Yeah.
Didn't it?
Yeah, and it also led into our further confusion of whether they were still in that within Psycho Book later on when things were starting to become more muddled.
It was, instantly you knew you were not in, quote unquote, I dare to say, in this film, reality.
But then, yeah, exactly. Because there are points where there are big fight sequences that are not in that fashion. So,
No.
yeah, it's all very subjective.
There are a lot
but
of artistic choices for the opening for that were really cool.
yes. But that particular effect was very effective
Yeah.
in making it feel like, oh, this is another reality. And I love the way they did it. That's all I'm going to say
Just
about
made
it.
me feel like a Tool video was going to show up at any moment.
Yes.
Tool's going to start playing. And
Instead of puppets, it was people.
Yeah,
and it was just
exactly.
brilliant the way they did it. I really enjoyed it. So where the fuck are we?
Then they used a laser from space to kill the Soviet agent.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. Top Gun Pest Control gets attacked.
Let's describe the agent, because that was also pretty...
I couldn't identify his face.
No, well, he had a Stalin mask.
No, that we haven't gotten to Stalin yet.
No, we haven't gotten to him yet.
No, we haven't gotten to Stalin yet.
Yeah, he was some white dude.
Yeah, this is some guy. I swear he's another actor. I just cannot remember his name, but he has all teeth and cheekbones.
It's not Gary Busey.
It's not Gary Busey.
No, he's out there. But yes, no, they call up for reinforcements and get the space freaking disintegrator beam.
Space laser.
Fuck him up.
Zaps him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
And then
Job well done.
little fly wakes up and eats some pizza and walks off.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like,
Goes
right.
to meet his girlfriend, wife, Malin.
Hell
Fiance.
Fiance?
Wife. Or
I don't know.
Wife? Were they white? I thought he was already married.
Yeah, he was already married.
They keep calling her different things throughout the film, so I really wasn't certain.
His significant other.
Yeah.
And,
his lady.
The
At her
intro to
kickboxing
is,
studio.
Yeah, it's like in the middle of a heavy bag session with her trainer.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this very.
She is a buxom badass. Is what I wrote down. It's just like she's fucking just owning.
Yeah.
And it obviously, the size difference between her and him, and then they head back to their apartment house. Mm-hmm. And there's a shower scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. She says, "Come and have a shower with me, boy."
And he has this joyous grin, and then gets down and starts licking the dew off of the shower on her leg.
Yep.
And then
Licking her knee
with the runoff, and there's smiles, and it gets to the point where he has a massive back spasm, and just this disjointed yell out, "Ow! My back!"
Mm-hmm.
And cut scene, and it's right to the bedroom, and him discussing how he wants to change and get out of this particular life, and quit being a CIA agent and psycho book.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a phrase that's very relevant.
It's perfect. This movie does move along at a clip that is faster than any of us could take notes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just saying.
So we've got chunks where we learn that his pet name for her is Birdie, and her pet name for him apparently is My Little Fly. And then he gets distracted by the TV where Batman is getting his foot licked by a random person. Then does cocaine and runs away to get elderly femme Robin, and then runs off.
Yeah, that happens so fast.
Yeah.
Like your brain's gonna go, but the tray. And
and then
next scene.
Malin yells at him to turn off the propaganda, and then he gets called back to work to fight the Soviet Union virus. But he just wants to eat his pizza. She is mad because she wants to open a kickboxing academy.
He just wants to own a pizza place, right?
Well, the Palmer, the dickbag, asked him, why don't you open a pizzeria? Because he's always eating pizza and talking about pizza. And he's like, oh, that's just a hobby. Being all, modest.
Apparently he's good at it.
Apparently he's great at it.
Get it, bro?
Yeah. So they go back into Psycho Book to fight the Soviet Union virus.
All right, then there's a hammer and sickle knife fight.
Yep. Palmer fights Stalin with a hammer and sickle.
That is cool. That's fucking awesome.
In that similar style of animation.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
And Stalin wins because hammer and sickle versus one knife.
Yeah.
Just wins.
He bests him and sort of then ends up strong arming him into some sort of deal.
Yeah.
Yes, he has to. He's captured in the fucking reality.
Yeah.
False reality, and then forced to what the fuck?
We get great lines like, "Are you kidding me? I'm a virus. I know you better than you know yourself, and I don't make deals with viruses."
That's right. But that's what it is. Yeah, he blackmails Palmer because Palmer at one point in time was fucking Little Fly's.
No, this is the first thing that we see is him fucking the commander's wife.
Oh, the commander. That's right.
It's the commander's wife that we see first.
Yeah, he just likes balling, and
shows up on his face as Agent Stalin in this or virus Stalin has it. Basically, his face turns into a miniature television screen and shows this ridiculous scene.
Mm-hmm.
and just her, I guess orgasming. I don't know what to call it, but it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then similar. That's basically how he does it similar later on with Little Fly as well.
But in the meantime, we've got Little Fly in his reality ends up dropping into a coma.
Yeah, well, the commander is all shitty and tells Palmer, like, hey, make sure Gargano is the one that touches any of the substance, because you're more important than he is. And it causes him to go into the coma. And so that's why we get, like, when we come back, some of the extra exposition, where we see, like, Malin at work, and my favorite character, Captain Lagucci. Captain Lagucci is not dancing for you, she is dancing for the universe.
I mean, it's got to be either Captain Lagucci or Mr. Sophistication. Who comes into
Captain
play?
Lagucci. Captain Lagucci is tops for me.
Captain Lagucci was probably the hero.
Legit.
Yeah. And that's also where we find out, because that's when Malin finds out that Gargano has slipped into this coma. And, like, the CIA, like, won't get him out of it or can't get him out of it.
They don't know what they're doing.
They basically abandoned him.
Yeah, and then...
I mean, it's a government agency. Like, expect it.
They're like, maybe we can use you before you die, basically.
And
And then we learn that Palmer has also at one point had relations with Malin. Palmer's just fucking everybody. Palmer is the king dickbag here.
Yeah, so, like, Palmer is not only that, but he's hitting on Little Fly's wife while he's in a coma.
Yep.
Like, just straight.
Shatner.
Yeah,
Shatner.
There you go. Yeah. And she's not cool with it. Like, she shuts that shit down. Mm-hmm. At least for a while.
But they had already slept together. Remember, because she talks about it being a mistake.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In the past.
Yeah.
But so meanwhile, like, Little Fly Gargano ends up in, like, a virtual, like, bar with
Stalin.
He orders pizza.
Stalin makes a copy of him and sends the copy of Gargano into Beta Ethiopia.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yep. And so that's where he orders pizza and meets two, like, patriotic vets that think he's he's the emperor. Mm-hmm.
Oh God!
And then Batfro is back.
Yeah, if your eyes are crossed, that's normal.
That's fine.
Yeah.
This is where my notes start to just run a little askew.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to be able to keep up with this movie. So the next note I have is U-boats? What the fuck? Beta Ethiopia? I'm just like, okay.
Oh yeah, we did get, like, an insert of U-boats and stuff. I still don't know where the fuck those came from. But when Batfro bursts into there, someone goes, "Oh shit, it's the government's fucking president." And I love that line.
That is maybe the fucking funniest shit.
Also, they call him Batfro. That is his name.
Yeah, that's his character's name, and the logo on his shirt is completely...
Yeah, it's just blurred
out.
Obscured
in almost like a psychedelic kaleidoscope kind of way. It's not just
like a computer error.
Yeah, it's not pixelated. It's just
But he's also very clearly wearing the Adam West Batman
Oh, absolutely. And they were just like, we're not sitting in a courtroom over this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh, no, that was on the TV. That was on the TV in the bar, and then he says, "This is the substance. Vote Batfro."
And the substance is interesting because it's not. I couldn't make heads or tails of whether it was good or bad or evil, or it was this green Jello-ish in a Ziploc.
There was
bag.
that, but there was also I feel like there was a different form of it too, because there was candy.
Yeah.
Throughout
which was infused with it.
With it, I guess it's infused. Yeah.
Yeah, so, apparently they were infusing it into a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, but in its pure form, it's this green gelatinous substance that's just nondescript. I feel like really don't get into that.
There should have been like a special edition release of this movie on Blu-ray that came with like candies.
Or
I think you're thinking of what Severin does, my dude.
No, Arrow does cool shit too. Everybody does cool shit every once in a while.
I'm just saying
it's super limited though. You know, we miss out on it. If
I've been happy with the flow chart at least. I think that might have been my speed.
All right, then
I was like, I just want to know what's happening.
Then we get introduced. We get introduced to Mr. Sophistication.
That's right. Oh, and we find out that people can lick credit cards to run them.
And
that's right.
Blink red like terms.
That's right. And he ends up calling about Little Fly's credit card, and they end up tracking him that way, right?
It declines, and Mr.
Yeah.
Sophistication holds him because his credit card, specifically because it declines, he's like, only certain kinds of people have these pink cards.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you're being held because of that. Who are you? And they started,
Yeah,
they
that's
started
right.
quizzing him on all these questions here, and
Yep.
Oh, that's right, because that's where like Gagano tries to call for help to try to get one more time to get him out and be like, "Hey, I used my card so you can find me." And they're basically like, "Try to find out what's happening before you wither and die."
yeah. And Mr. Sophistication has the perfect Italian accent, and perfect is in quotes. I highlighted, underlined, amazing, absolutely the most steadfast Italian accent I've ever heard, and he's probably one of the best characters.
Reminded you of your relatives in Sicily,
Absolutely,
right?
like
So
spot
authentic.
on. This
Yeah.
guy,
Fuck yeah.
just looking like he fell off a Captain Crunch box with a with a safari hat and just the perfect Italian accent. I
Fuck
can't
yeah.
stress the perfect Italian accent enough. So great.
Well, I guess in the meantime, in the real world, Palmer, the partner, is trying to woo the wife with like, "Hey, I've got all these savings. Like, I can buy you that kickboxing studio you want."
I
right?
was thinking I could help you open the most beautiful kickboxing academy the world has ever seen.
There you go.
That's
Actual quote.
Yeah, that's how he tries to woo her. And then she's
What the
like, "Oh my
fuck?
god, a pink card," which means absolutely nothing to us because we're not in that universe. But I guess it means that he's got a butt ton of money.
Oh,
But, yeah.
Jesus.
But yeah. So in the virtual world, Mr. Sophistication, we have to talk about his henchmen.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we're getting there. So, all right. So, actually, I have a space here,
Sorry,
so I missed a thing. He was obviously a hippie.
Yeah.
Where did that
So
come
I
into
think
play?
that was when so the two vets that were in the pizza place stood up for Gagano, and then Batfro gets like up in arms at them and tries to bully them, and so Gagano's like, "Stop talking to them like that," and gets shot. And then like he doesn't die, he gets back up, but when he gets shot, Batfro goes, "He was obviously a hippie."
That's what happened.
Yeah.
I already completely forgot about that. I just
Yeah.
wrote down the line.
Yeah.
Somehow that made
Yeah.
sense.
But they have now imprisoned the two vets and Gagano in like literally like a cage.
Yeah,
and they're talking about how they're gonna get Gagano's CIA code from him so they can take control of Psycho Book.
Yep. With the Ark of the Covenant.
Oh, yeah. That,
Well,
that happened at some
Real
point.
quick, please, Alan,
Yeah.
will you tell us the names of the three Kung Fu masters that
yes.
Mr. Sophistication...
Mr. Sophistication's three
Introduces.
henchmen. All right, the first one, and take heed here. The first one's name is authentic. It's Spaghetti.
Yep.
The
tracks.
second one is Ravioli.
Yep.
And in perfect Italian repetition, Balthazar is the third.
Balthazar!
Balthazar!
Three badasses who are reminiscent of Big Trouble in Little China, the Raiden sort of outfits, without the oversized, the hats that
Yeah.
they have. But these are moderately sized on that. But yeah, definitely it was in the numbers of threes and whatnot. It was just
Holy
Oh,
shit.
it's
they were
great.
perfect.
And that was obviously the most fun day of filming because
Yeah.
Batfro was in a giant-ass pool at a villa
Yep.
Yeah.
somewhere,
Somewhere in a resort.
wherever the fuck this villa was. And, Mr. Sophistication showed up with his three ninja-looking motherfuckers.
Yeah, his
giant-ass
Kung
hats.
Fu masters
Yes, they
to
were.
talk about going to find the Ark of the Covenant, which is the original and most powerful Psycho Book terminal.
And
Correct.
to their credit, their moves were really good. I
Yeah.
won't say that much.
No, there wasn't
They were
fake
legit kung fu
karate.
moves. And
So, the
martial arts.
Shaolin Master, they go to his lair.
Yeah.
And
well, they
they-
go to steal it from the...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shaolin Master is the
Yeah.
one they need to defeat.
Yeah.
And he fucks them up for a minute, but they do
They
eventually...
hack Psycho Book and they raise their expertise level to 8 instead of 7.
Boom.
Which you can do. So.
Yeah.
Can do.
Totes.
And they do defeat the Shaolin Master.
Yeah.
They stab him because because they're a bunch of jerks.
There was audible sadness for Murph and Grutz when that happened, and I
It wasn't. Yeah, I mean, I think in unison we went, "Oh."
I laughed. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, this is
I forgot who I was rooting for. I think.
I mean,
you were rooting for Balthazar.
in the context of this movie, this is the point where this is the sort of nearing the end of the second act where like everybody on the good side is having the worst time.
What was the end of the acts?
Well, this is where the bad guys have won the most.
Okay.
This is where Batfro and Stalin are on top of the game.
That's right. I keep forgetting that Batfro and virus Soviet Union Stalin are alive.
They're best bros.
I know. I just that
they collaborate
sentence.
in secret, which happens. A lot.
But yeah, so that happens, and then they need the code from Gagano. So Stalin shows Gagano his wife cheating on him with Palmer.
That's rough,
Same
man.
way that he got,
like
Palmer
graphically
with the commandant.
Yep.
This is a lot more graphic, though. This is definitely like
there's some nudity in it, and there's.
It doesn't show penetration, but it's definitely like
it's not 3X, but it's definitely like
it's no Christiana Devil Nun.
No. There she is. Okay.
I was like, that's going in. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yep. There's a lot.
That's a whole other film.
But the vets try to comfort him, and they're like, "You must be strong, my little prince." And they keep calling him my little prince, and they keep telling him he's Jesus and the emperor.
Meanwhile,
of
one of the
Ethiopia.
guys. Okay, so the voiceovers in this whole movie are fucking fantastic, and they're so like off, like brand, like you would expect. One of those Ethiopian dudes sounds like a smooth talking like 70s blaxploitation guy. He's like, "Hey man, you all good?"
That's right.
And it's just like, what
the accents would slide into like I heard Irish, I heard blaxploitation.
Yeah.
But these are
South
definitely
African and, like New Zealand.
70-year-old vets.
Yeah, these men are in their seniors and they're gray-haired.
Well,
they're in full uniform.
the actors are.
Yeah.
The voices are. What the fuck? Who knows, man?
Yeah, we need a voice on set today. Can you do it? Yeah, sure.
Like that's gonna be a whole nother layer of the movie of going back into it and be like, who the fuck voiced this shit and why were these choices made?
We're gonna have to be able to read the credits because those things seizure flash faster than the Porygon episode that gave kids seizures.
If you have seizures or epileptic or any of those,
don't watch the credits.
The credits you can just skip right through because man, it is a kaleidoscope.
But if you like rave culture,
or 8-bit video games,
the music in this is banging. It's all like 8-bit video game music.
Yeah, the music tracks pretty well for us. We're all kids.
I might have. I gotta find this soundtrack. So yes, they're comforting him. However, in the meantime,
well, he slips into like a fantasy, doesn't he?
Does he now? Yeah. Is that in between?
Yeah, because this is like he goes straight from like being comforted to like falling asleep and dreaming that he's got his like pizza place on the beach. And
they're all cheering for him.
Yeah, and everyone's cheering for him, and it's him and Malin, and like then it's him having sex with Malin in the pizza truck, and it's all rocking, and then it's Palmer who turns around and goes, "Stop sodomizing me, agent."
With the full mask on.
Yeah.
For Robert Redford there.
Yeah.
And the mouth articulates, which really sells that scene.
Yep.
And
so then we realize that. What the fuck? Mr. Sophistication is trying to play his own angle.
Yeah, that's right.
He's trying to play his own angle.
In perfect Italian cadence.
Yes, he wants to get the code so he can do his thing and rule
Beta Ethiopia.
Yeah. That's what he wants.
He wants to get Batfro the fuck out.
He wants to get back. Yeah, he wants to get his own fucking domain.
Yeah.
So,
haha, computer domain. I get it.
Meanwhile, guess what? The baddies are fucking wise to that shit, and they send 2 fucking assassins.
Oh, but could you tell me what do those assassins look like? By the way,
are you asking Grutz or myself? Because
tell me what the assassins.
I'm pretty sure
look
that they found 2 sort of roboticized flies.
Giant laser eye flies.
Laser eye flies, reminiscent of the early 50s Fly and whatnot from Universal Monsters and whatnot. So it's kind of got that whole, like, they're not even hiding at moment.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And then the flies automatically zoom on or zone into Ravioli and Spaghetti, which breaks my heart because they were some tough characters and they get foofed.
Yeah, there's no martial arts here. There's just lasering.
Yeah, they deflected briefly with a like serving tray,
and they are gone. They're zapped.
They're all done.
And then Gargano steps in, and he tries to, after all three of Mr. Sophistication's men are wiped out, he jumps in and he gets hit dead on, and it just kind of hurts him a little bit, but it doesn't kill him. And then he tries to make a run for it.
He's like not killed by it because he is a fucking real.
Yeah, he's a real person.
He's a real person, but
he's not just digital. So he's able to like make a run for it, and
he finds Palmer while he's running.
Yeah. He encounters Palmer, has a mirror in his hand.
No, they find a mirror. They find like a large mirror. They reflect the blast at one of the fly. They quote unquote kill one of the fly, and then they pull off the fly's hand glove, and candy comes out.
And there's still a human hand underneath the glove.
Yeah, there's a human hand under this glove of the
one
giant
of the flies like
fly.
Escapes.
Yeah, it was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
They get the teleporter or whatever, some wormhole opens up and it runs through. Gone.
And now here, this is important. This is when
Palmer does the same thing. He bamfs out similarly.
Yes.
Yeah, he runs through a similar hole.
The fly that was injured, they
wakes up,
pulls the fly head off. And it's a dude who's like, I'm Jesus Christ.
No, that's Roy Mascaroni.
I thought I was Jesus.
Oh, I thought I was Jesus.
I thought I was Jesus. And then Jesus met Palmer before that, and then they did drugs. And then they got recoded as a fly. That's what I
they upset the Soviet the Soviet virus, and basically somewhere down the line he got punished.
Yeah, Roy Mascaroni.
Roy Mascaroni, a.k.a. Jesus.
That's right. And that's when he tells Agent Gargano, you and I are asleep at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in 1997.
Something about Massachusetts being the truth.
Yeah, Massachusetts being the truth. Yeah, MIT. We're asleep at MIT.
Now, there's a flashback where it's like, and here's my story.
Yep.
Where I'm Jesus. Where he's like...
crouched in leggings in front of a cross.
Yeah, he's like on a tiny little cross, and then Batfro shows up and it's like, you cheap copy of Jesus.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
So he lifts his tiny cross up out of the sand, and on the back are three sort of battery packs of some sort on there. I don't know.
Oh, they're radios because he starts listening to music as he's walking.
And he's running away with this tiny cross. Also, he's got these black spandex
leggings,
sort of leggings on as he runs away with this cross on his back that he's just kind of carrying around now, like a cradling it basically.
And at some point, little fly Gargano actually perishes.
So the praying of the vets crack the speed of Psycho Book and stop Batfro from getting to him. And it gives him a chance to eat the candy because Batfro has already killed Roy. Roy ate candy and then Batfro snapped his neck. So Gargano eats the candy to try to get out of Psycho Book, and he essentially dies. Like his consciousness tries to leave and tries to wake up, but they burn his body because they think he's dead.
Right. They burn his real body.
Yeah, they burn his real body.
Right before that, we missed a key, crucial element.
Yeah, probably did. That's
the
not...
Ark of the Covenant that allowed the access.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a laptop from 1994.
Oh, yeah, that was before the flies showed up, yeah.
The Psycho Book was there, and they pull it off, and it's what are those things called? They have the ancient carriers like they have in like Indiana Jones and
yeah.
The Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
They have it. I don't know what the hell it's called. It's a carrier that has the two sticks across the top.
Yeah.
They would carry royalty with it and whatnot.
Oh, Palanquin.
There you go. They basically have it on there, and they pull it off, and it just shapes into like the laptop. So like it looked like it was the Ark of the Covenant. And it's just, oh yeah, no, it's a 1994 laptop. Psychobook preloaded with a enter password and a username, like all that fun stuff. So like it was one of those things. It was just ridiculous. And it was fun. It was just, that part was just like, and that was right before the zappings and the fly and all that. So if you want to put that in your timeline that you're paying close attention to,
and you're in your red spider web of how things have gone for this world. But they basically unplug Gargano's consciousness.
Yes.
And they try to dispose of it, and Palmer, and like the one decent thing he does in the whole movie, saves Gargano's consciousness. And gives it to Malin, who plugs it into a tiny portable TV.
Yes. And then he travels. Some has that TV. He's in the fucking like apartment. He's communicating with his wife.
Yeah. Well, he dials the commander because he thinks the commander's going to help him.
Yes.
Right.
And then the commander tries to drop him off a roof.
Yeah, there's this whole heart-wrench scene between him and Malin, Gargano and Malin, that Malin's getting ready to go leave with Palmer, and they're talking.
Well, that hasn't happened
yet.
No, because the captain goes to drop him off the roof, and we get the awesome Captain Liguchi jumping off the fucking roof and parachuting in to save him while he's trapped in the TV.
You're right,
Captain Liguchi then brings him back to the apartment safely. And then Malin and Palmer don't know he's there. I guess they don't notice the portable TV.
With his face on it.
Right, with his face sitting there.
Static.
And then Palmer admits his love for Malin and starts like squeezing her boobs, even though she doesn't seem like, she sort of seems to be into it, but nothing about her facial expression says that she's enjoying this.
It's purely a physical reaction, apparently, to her, but emotionally, she's wrecked over it.
And then he yells, "Traitor!" and then they know he's there.
Yeah. And that's where it gets spicy.
Yes, right. Well, I mean, one of the times.
Yeah.
So he's like, we were going to have children. Mm-hmm. How?
For God's sake, you're a portable
TV.
You're a
portable TV.
Mm-hmm.
That's a line.
Yep.
It's just like, okay, all right, there it is. Holy fuck. So yes, he ends up off the roof.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Saved by your favorite.
Well, yeah, no, that happened before that.
Yeah,
this is because then he tells Malin to leave with Palmer, which she does, and asks her to face him to the window. And then, like, I guess his battery runs down or something happens, but he gets put out. The TV gets put outside by whoever's cleaning the apartment.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then he gets picked up.
The movers
by
are just
one
like
of the.
He gets put in a box out for the trash, and somebody picks him up.
One of the drug addict people, or supposed drug addict people, picks him up and takes him to see
the cult of Jesus, right? Or the cult of
Reverend Roy,
right?
Who is Roy Mascarpone? Yeah, and then he ends up taking the substance just as the cops are busting things. Where he eats the Jello, or rather, Roy smears the Jello on top of the TV
through the grate
and says, "See you in MIT."
The substance.
All right, so now we're getting to
almost the end.
Almost the greatest part of this movie, that is the ending.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, so he wakes up.
Well, first we get Sir Reverend Roy is Chico Pinero, and they're like, "Who is Chico Pinero?" And they go, "We don't know, sir. Bring me everything you've got on Chico Pinero." And then we get him waking up at MIT.
Yeah, he somehow is able to transmorph from the television set back into his sort of former self. And it's sort of static appears, and he's in a hospital bed, and
I kind of want there to be a Substance Cinematic Universe, an SCU. I just want more movies that are tangential to this whole fucking
being woken
plotline.
Up by the substance.
Yeah. Just different things, I want to.
You've got 100 movies you could work with right off the bat.
No, this is an 83-minute movie that could have been a dozen films.
Yeah.
But it would not have been as good if we had cut it down. But Roy is also waking up at MIT, and it gives him like a knowing look. And then Malin is picking him up so they can go to the pizzeria. And the whole reason he did the study is so he could get money so they could open the kickboxing academy for her.
Yeah,
That's right.
And then he says, "Hey, which way to the highway?" And Roy, who once thought he was Jesus, says, "I'll show you."
It's the title line.
It's the title line.
Herman scream in your head.
Yep.
Kermit arms.
Yep.
But as we're going to the highway, this demon cat that we saw earlier on the face of Stalin reappears. So, are they really out of Psycho Book? Bum, 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 as they drive down the highway.
So this has like a weird, very surreal, esoteric ending, kind of like the famous one that an occurrence at Owl Creek did, which is like the famous like short film or short story that was like, there's this whole story, everything happens, all this stuff. Oh, it was all a dream because you're about to die.
Oh,
You know? So, I mean, that's been done many times. Jacob's Ladder's a great example of that. But this is like the weird, sort of trippy version of that maybe they're not dead. Like, it was
maybe
just,
they're not out yet.
So he had this whole, like, bad, like, sort of trip experience where he was like, my girl is cheating on me, blah, blah, blah. There's, all the insecurities of my life are now secret, secret Cold War situations with fucking computer game Matrix shit.
But you don't even know if they're real or not at the same time.
Exactly.
It's like they kept telling them, like, that's just, they're just using that as a weapon or something of the like. And so you couldn't even tell if that was actually happening or it was like made up propaganda.
Right.
So
Suffice to say, this movie was a fucking ride.
Yeah. This was a blast.
And it was 83 minutes long. It was so fucking dense with insane shit. It felt like a 2-hour movie.
yeah.
And I fucking loved it so much.
Yeah,
And
I'm really
gonna watch
glad.
it again.
I'm really glad that I bought this, and I
It was
can't
a
wait
fun
to.
ride. It was a fun ride.
Dude, I cannot wait until dig into these extras. Like I said, the Arrow disc has the audio commentary with Alexandra Heller Nicholas on it, and I really fucking love her insight. So I'm stoked about that.
I'm excited.
Yeah, like I said, it's just, if you're looking for one of these, bring your friends over, clear your mind, and just have fun movies, this is it.
Oh, no.
Do you like it when you melt your brain?
Yeah, I mean, no substance required, no pun intended, but,
You intended that pun. Don't fucking
I
lie to me.
intended that pun.
Well, this movie has that kind of pace
Solid.
that in a social setting, like,
If you look away for 2 seconds, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck just happened?"
No, I dare anyone to be bored by this movie.
Yeah.
Like, you can't.
No,
Like,
absolutely not.
The only way, like, if you are mentally, like, fixated on following a narrative, well, then, yeah, you're fucking shit out of luck.
Well, I mean, you're not out of luck. You're just, good luck.
You'll end up...
There is a narrative and there is a solid line. It is purposefully convoluted as to, like, the layers of how deep we are in.
And
Right.
also the pacing. I can compliment that, because no matter how crazy it got, you were still firmly in your seat.
No,
going,
you were.
the ride can move.
Yeah,
That was the weird part
this
about
wasn't
it.
a Joe Dorowski movie where you're just like, okay, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, it flowed weirdly well. Like, you could just sit down and go, things have changed, but we're good, and we could keep going. And that was the fun part about
I
it.
do think my two favorite things were Captain Lagucci, the parachuting drag queen saving the day, and the laser flies.
Well, we're introduced to Captain on that too. That was the intro to Captain Lagucci. Was
Truth.
One man strip, or I should say, one person strip club show. And Captain Lagucci is just up there giving it their all, and just stripping out and having fun. And then there's this one unruly patron who's, it kind of looks like the boxer or like the kickboxer coach. In a way, he's this real asshole.
You would know better than to mouth off to Malin, though.
Yeah,
she beats the shit out of that dude.
He was another guy in there. He's an older guy. He's like, oh, you know who I am, and he's just, this is for me. I am only person in here. Clearly he is. And then Malin in full suit just roughs him up, just right into the face, blam, blasts him. And Captain Lagucci has a one-liner quip that I forgot right after that, but man.
No, that's what it was. I have it written down.
Oh,
so
yeah, well,
fucking
repeat it, because
Yeah.
that whole intro
Captain
was
Lagucci is not dancing for you. She is dancing for the universe.
and just amazing, like, that whole painted backdrop for me. It's
Damn right.
Yeah.
the memory hit, and it was just, again, I'm working with no notes, so I was like, let me see if I can hold on to this.
No, you're good, man.
No, I wanted to see that. We've got good notes, great notes. We've got notes and then decent notes. And I was like, I'm going to see if I can contain this monster.
There are notes that I started taking, then I just kind of gave up, and then it hit some little
I was going
points.
to say, it started solid for me. I was like, let me see if I can hold this tiger with no trap. And I think I did okay.
This movie is made to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
It is made to be a fun ride with a bunch of what the fuck moments. And in the midst of this movie, I was talking to, my hetero life mate, Jesse, who's been on other episodes of the podcast.
Yeah, Jesse does the Die for Dead formats with you, doesn't he?
He does. And I was like, what the fuck does this remind me of? This reminds me of, like, this fucking crazy ass, like, Australia and New Zealand show.
Yeah.
Where there's, like, Hitler and dinosaurs. And we had to, like, figure it out between us for a few seconds. And Danger 5, I guess is the name of the show. It's such a fun time. It's fucking bananas. It has that feel because it feels like it was shot. Parts of this movie feel like they were taken straight out of like a late 60s TV show.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of callbacks. And
100%. And like the weird random, like, I think you brought up like, Tim and Eric's Awesome Show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Completely unbelievable in the directions it was going.
Yeah. Commandant kind of looks like Tim Heidecker and Dave Foley of Kids in the Hall had a baby. That's basically his look.
I mean, he looked like one of the McPoyles from fucking Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That too.
That's right, we did mention that.
Yeah. he has a multitude of looks, but Commandant is kind of one of
Cheeks.
So
those looks.
Suffice to say, I fucking love this movie.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the shit out of it.
We'll watch it again.
It is fucking insane, and I can't wait to, have company over and be like, hey man, what's the weird shit you want to show me? I was like, oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
I'm super glad this is now in my arsenal and maybe getting played at Fallout next week.
Yeah, I was going to say, get some
There you
popcorn
go.
out.
So, all right. So, we're going to wrap this up, but our next portion here is like, we've got to talk about if we were in good company.
Shit, if I was in bad company, they're still getting a fucking double feature. Fuck them.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But
I hate you, but like, I can at least show you decent movies.
if you were
You're getting them regardless.
to pair this movie with another, what would it be?
Do you want me to start us out, or does anyone
Go
have
ahead,
one?
because I've got my answer.
So, there, like, I was thinking, like, mindfuck stuff. So, my brain went to two different ones. One I haven't seen in a long time, so, I'm a little on the fence about it, because I was torn between either Liquid Sky, because holy shit is that, like, just a mindfuck of a movie.
Oh, yeah.
Again, with substance and orgasm.
No, I want a bad movie
nonsense.
night with that.
Yeah, Liquid Sky is something that we absolutely should cover on this podcast.
We could do that.
And the other one that I considered was What the Bleak Do We Know? Because it's another one that ends on that, like, do we know if we're back in reality, or if we've woken back up?
Even though that was like kind of a quasi-documentary. It was
an
cool.
indie film / documentary, but it ended on that note of are we
remember
still
that.
dreaming, and so that's kind of why.
Have you
it came
seen
to
all the
mind.
versions of that?
No, I don't know that I have.
Because I have like
Like I said, I haven't watched it
crazy
in
version.
years.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but those are my two picks.
Those
There's
are
one
good-
that should be covered
those
on
are
this
good
podcast
ones.
for sure. So
You want me to go, or you
I
want?
was gonna say I'll go next.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Two immediately come to mind. One's a musical from 1980 called The Apple.
Fuck yes,
Yes,
dude.
you brought
know
that up
what-
recently.
Yeah, The
Yes.
Apple
Yes.
is
Watch that.
in that same sort of vein as if you're trying to hold on, things change, but it's a musical. The other choice I was torn with is, of course, an MST3K, and even without it, classic, Overdrawn at the memory bank.
Oh man, I'm so excited that you brought that up.
Overdrawn at the memory
Raul,
bank.
Julia, what were you doing in that piece of shit?
Well, rest easy, Raul. We love
You
you for
deserve
much more.
better.
You are amazing as Dracula and Gomez. We know.
Oh my
I was
God.
gonna say that. Overdrawn at the memory bank follows a
No,
lot of
that
lines
tracks.
of that same logic in the
God
film.
damn.
And I was gonna say that those two would be my argumentative flip coin for. Like, do you want to stay out of? If someone hates musicals, fine, it's Overdrawn. Or if you want to go the whole 9 yards and see what it would be like, set to music, The Apple. And yeah, similar sort of what the fuck's going on here and there, like moving forward. Like, it's that same vein for me, and I enjoy that. And again, huge Misty, so I can roll with it and watch it again and again and make fun of it. It'd be great. So,
All right, Grutz.
So, okay.
Let's.
I fucking love those choices. 100%.
thank you.
The one I went with that was my first and only choice, but it's a movie called Holy Motors
Holy motor.
by Leo Caro.
Tell us about the movie.
And it's a French film. The film is fucking bananas weird. It does have Kylie Minogue in it. It's kind of about a bunch of different characters, including like maybe an immortal / vampire bum who is haunting different kinds of society. There's also like a limousine company involved. It's a fucking bananas movie.
Alright.
It is gorgeous. Like the cinematography is like evocative of like Jean-Pierre Jeunet, like City of Lost Children, like weird shit.
Yeah, highly
Very
surreal.
very cool.
Is it black and white? You said, or is it noir? Or?
It's a pretty recent. I would say mid 20-teens. This one came out. It's not old. Not super old.
I'll have to look into that one too.
Caro did a more recent film that had Adam Driver in it called Annette,
Oh, I haven't
which I
heard about that one.
still have yet to see because I'm slacking. But
We all are.
Are you slacking, or is there just a plethora of cool things that are both getting released, re-released, and becoming available that we have to continually
and
enter our
there's
doc?
100 years of film prior.
Did you just
that we're
quote
trying
the
to-
unbearable weight of massive talent?
What I just did?
Did you not? Have you not seen that yet? The Nick Cage film, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent?
No, I've seen it multiple times.
Okay, I just wanted
Did
to...
I,
Because I thought you were just casually being like, wow, how do you choose one film in 100+ years of amazing cinema? I thought you were just casually, like, caging out on me.
I didn't even realize that.
You know what? That's
I'm
Hey,
gonna die.
unintentional Cage moment. Great.
Oh,
The unintentional...
maybe this is the universe telling me I need a Nick Cage tattoo. Maybe my birthday tattoo has to be a Cage Rage tattoo.
Oh, God.
Don't say.
Oh, fuck. In any case, Holy Motors.
Okay.
I'll lend it to you if it's not streaming anywhere.
Holy motors.
Fucking movie's amazing.
You know, I'm
And
always down for a movie
it's
night.
weird and bizarre on this level that you're just like, what the fuck is happening? But you could follow the narrative and you're just like, okay. Bizarre shit's happening, surreal at times. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, no, I mean that's definitely our realm.
It's definitely this
Seen-
realm shit.
Seen weirder stuff, but this is pretty close to top tier weird,
All right.
but well done weird. So
All right. So we're wrapping this motherfucker up.
All right.
So, all right.
Let's wrap it up in a big electronic ancient apple bow.
8-bit bow.
That's right.
This fucking soundtrack. Holy shit. All right. So, Beautiful Disasters. Where can you find us? You can find us on Facebook at Beautiful Disasters Podcast.
You can find us on Instagram at beautiful_disasters_podcast.
Fuck yeah. You can email us directly at beautifuldisasterspodcast@gmail.com. And we love recommendations.
Oh,
Hit us up anywhere of those places. Let us know what you want us to watch.
you can also find us at GUIPodcast.com, and as well as all the other shows on the network. That also gives you a direct link to where you can get merch for us and the other shows on the network. through TeePublic, which, you know, they've got some badass stuff. The prints are turning out a lot better. I just picked up the Buckaroo Banzai inspired one, which I love. We've got the Battle Royale inspired design. So you really can't go wrong with those. And
Love it.
you know, you can find something you like, and they do sales all the fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
So rep that shit.
And then,
tag us
you
in
know,
pictures,
to
'cause I like to see you
support the
being beautiful.
entire network, you can go to GUIPodcast.com, click on the
That's what I was saying.
Amazon link. That
yeah,
also throws a little shekels. Doesn't cost you a cent more, but, like, you know, a little bit comes back to the network, helps us buy, you know, cable here or booze or whatever.
I'm for booze.
So it goes.
Booze for booze.
But yes.
Psychobook tokens.
I don't know if they have Psychobook tokens. We just
Well,
had credit cards. Do I just have to
That's
start
like
licking
pink credit
things?
cards and Psychobook, marketplace has got to be incredible. So, yeah, Jesus shows you the way to the highway.
Hey, Grutz, give me your credit card. I'm going to try licking it.
There you go. All right, let's do this.
No credit cards were harmed in the making of this
Fuck
podcast.
yes. Thank you so much for listening. Again, check out all the shows on the GUI network. And for Beautiful Disasters, I've been the Grutz.
I am Murphy Lawless, and
I'm Alan T.
Thank you so much for listening.
that's right. Stay beautiful, motherfuckers.
Coming straight from the mouths of madness, I'm Lowdown.
I'm F.U. Hunter.
Do you love horror?
We fucking do.
So this is a podcast dedicated to all things in cinematic horror. We're talking movies, television, composers, special effects artists. We're gonna fucking cover it.
So if you love horror,
Embrace the madness.
In a world with too many reboots and remakes,
Two men will stop at nothing to make it even worse.
join like the Hobbit and Tandy as they play by their own rules while pitching new takes on some of your favorite and least favorite films and TV shows. What podcast would dare to bring this upon the world?
This is Smack My Pitch.
GUIPodcast.com.